What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I have a little bit of a eating video, as you can tell by the thumbnail and the title. So basically this is what's happening. So I live in Canada, in Ontario, and for anyone who doesn't know, we've gone into the 8th trillionth lockdown. School is online for, they say, 2 weeks. It better be 2 weeks. It has brought me a lot of stress. I am not a teacher. I have no idea what I am doing. Guaranteed children are not learning. I can tell you my child's not learning like she should be. It has brought me a lot of stress. It's brought me a lot of stress. The whole thing, the status of the world, everything going on, just everything has brought me a lot of stress. I've done a lot of stress eating, and it's not that I've been eating a lot of food. I just haven't been eating healthy anymore. There was a time when I would eat very healthy. I would have like a salad every day. I would drink a lot of water. Like I was just doing a lot better, and I felt better. And I'm not eating a lot. I'm just eating unhealthy processed foods, things that aren't making my body feel as healthy as it could. I want to flush out my system. I want to get my energy back. I've been living off of like energy drinks and like caffeine to the max in order to get through my day. I know that my eating is affecting my energy, which is affecting my stress, which is affecting my sleeping, and it's all a ripple effect. So I want to kind of kickstart myself. I'm not doing this with the purpose of losing weight. I want to say that to begin with. If I lose weight, then great. I did weigh myself this morning, so we will see. But that's not my purpose of doing it. I'm doing this to make my body feel better. I just feel like I am sluggish. I feel like I am full. I feel like I have a lot going on in my body that is not the healthiest that it could be. So I'm going to do a bit of a challenge. So I'm going to have no processed, rules I made up for myself, no processed foods for 3 days, no sugar for 3 days. I'm going to say no carbs for 3 days. Now, no processed carbs for 3 days. Correction, no processed carbs for 3 days. So no bread unless I make it, kind of thing. I'm going to try and do no carbs at all. And when I say no carbs, I mean breads, pasta, typical kind of carbs. I don't mean potatoes, even though I know potatoes have carbs and there are vegetables who have carbs, and I fully understand that. But carbs are not the devil. So that is my plan. I wanted to start it yesterday and then realized that I was not prepared. And so then at like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, I was hungry, couldn't leave my house because my daughter's doing online learning, and I had not a lot of food to eat. And so I was like, oh, this, you don't have a plan, screw this. So starting it today, going to do it for the next 3 days, see how my body feels and how it affects my body. I'm very interested. I have been having at least one a day. I have an energy drink or I have a glass of pop. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Let's be very clear. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's a terrible thing. I just know for me, my body just it's had a lot of it and it needs to just slow down. So we will see what it does and how it makes me feel. I'll be making a lot of things from scratch, which makes me very happy, actually. I feel that this is what I need in order to refresh myself, and it's going to be very interesting to kind of see what happens. I'm hoping this will help my energy levels and my stress and all of that. If you try it, definitely don't try it without a plan. Make a plan in advance. Don't try it on a whim. That's what I tried to do yesterday. That was a bad idea. I will also say that I do intermittent fasting I did it for a long time and then I kind of stopped, and I've gone back to it in the new year. I do that truly only because I like how it makes me feel. I like that it helps me control my calories so that even if I, eating badly, I'm still eating my calories because I only eat in a certain window. I also like going to bed with nothing in my system. I don't like going to bed when my body is trying to process food. It just is not very comfortable for me. And just overall, I know that it agrees with my body. So I've been eating from about 11, 12 o'clock until 6 and cutting myself off till 6. So I'm excited to continue that. I bought a bunch of food, so hopefully it is enough. I have tried to do no sugar, no carbs, and before, fully no sugar, no carbs. And it's hard. You get hungry a lot. So it just takes a lot more food to fill you up. So that's why I'm doing no processed carbs as an alternative. So we will see how it goes, and I'll be back. Okay, so this is the beginning of day one. This is the salad, just a salad with a can of tuna. I used French dressing as the dressing. I don't know why I didn't show that, but then I had a snack of some almonds, just some natural almonds. Then this is kind of what I had. This is some stir fry with some vegan meat, vegan non-meat. So day one recap of no sugar, no carb, that whole, day one. I am tired. I'm very tired. It's like 8 o'clock. I got tired really early, like earlier than normal. I could just feel my body like shutting down almost, if that makes any sense. Just as the day went on, like in the morning, I was totally fine. And I was like, after I had that salad, I was feeling great. But then as the day went on, my energy is like going down a little bit at a time. So I'm going to try and go to sleep early today, really early. I wake up really early, so it's hard for me to go to sleep early because I typically wake up at about 5:30. So going to sleep early is like 10, 9:30, 9 o'clock would be early. And my daughter goes to sleep at 8, and like, it's just, I can't always do that. But I'm going to try and go to sleep early or earlier than I normally do. Usually I have an energy drink. I didn't have one today. Didn't have, I had some like mixes, some powder mixes to like give you energy so that I could get through my night, because at like 5 o'clock I was like, I could probably go to sleep right now, and obviously still have to keep going and maintain things. So for tomorrow, I'm going to try and up my protein and eat more protein, because I feel like that will help things, because I ate protein, but I just feel like maybe I need more protein in general, and that will help me to sustain my energy throughout the day and hopefully last a little bit longer. I'm hoping that it's just my body kind of resetting and recalibrating to, not having as much caffeine and not having sugar and not having carbs to, sustain me and all of that stuff. So this is my first meal for day 2. I had a salad with some lunch meat, and then I had 2 hard-boiled eggs as some extra protein. What's up, everybody? So it is now end of day 2. I realized that I didn't film the rest of my meals, but there's a reason. Here's why. So after I had that salad, I had a scoop of peanut butter before I left. If you are eating less, you're trying to eat low sugar or something like that, and you really need a sugar fix, so have a little bit of peanut butter. It kind of keeps that at bay as a little tip. And then I went to a grocery store, and the grocery store that is close to me, that particular one that I went to, is on the 2nd floor. So you go up an escalator to go up to the 2nd floor. There's a reason I'm explaining this, because I had my daughter and I brought a wagon. We have a wagon, and I brought that. Can't go up the escalator, so we use the elevator. Coming down from the elevator, here's what happened. I got down from the elevator, got to the bottom, and I just felt dizzy. For no particular reason, I was getting kind of crabby. My energy was very low. When I woke up, I was like, my energy was low from the minute I woke up, which made no sense. I was just struggling. I felt like I was struggling. And I just felt dizzy. Like I just felt like, you know, that like that feeling where you feel like your body is still moving, but it's not moving. I don't understand. And I was just starting to get a headache, and I just was like, I just didn't feel 100%. So I got home, had a little bit of ice cream. I bought ice cream. I don't eat a lot of it because I don't buy a lot of it because it disagrees with my stomach. So I typically only have a little bit at a time. So I had a little bit of that. So I did have a little bit of sugar, but I just couldn't sustain myself. It was very weird. Then I had some salmon and Brussels sprouts for dinner. And I had like a quarter cup of no sugar Diet Coke. So like 0 sugar. So there's no sugar, so I didn't break that, but still a little bit processed. But I just needed something. Like there was no possible way I was getting through the rest of the day. Like I just struggling today. I have a massive headache. It came on in the later part of the day, probably like 4 o'clock onwards, and just won't go away. Now that might be because I didn't really have caffeine other than that little bit of sugar, that little bit of Coke, sorry. Obviously has some caffeine in it, and I do take a pre-workout every morning which has a little bit of caffeine in it, but usually I have more. Like I have an iced coffee or an energy drink, and usually I have more to sustain me. So I feel like this might be my body's reaction to not having caffeine, which really alarms me, or it might be my body's reaction to having no sugar, which also alarms me. So I'm going to relax. I'm going to read. I'm going to watch a movie. I'm going to just center myself, meditate before I go to bed, and hopefully I can go to bed and rest and feel better tomorrow. Tomorrow's the 3rd day. Had another salad for the 3rd day. This time I had some lunch meat and some cheese added to it for some extra sustainability and some French dressing. Then I had some cantaloupe, and I did have an energy drink on the 3rd day. I desperately needed it. It is no sugar though, so still no sugar. And then I tried to make some gnocchi for dinner, which wasn't very good. I don't know, I don't think gnocchi is my thing. I don't think I like it very. All right, everybody, that is the end of day 3. It was interesting. It was eye-opening. It was very eye-opening for me. I woke up this morning with a massive headache, like really bad headache. I did take a COVID test because I had some rapid tests at home just to make sure that wasn't what it was. It wasn't negative. I knew I would be negative, but I had a massive headache. I was still cranky. I was cranky yesterday. I was cranky today. And I just knew that I wasn't going, like, I was not, it just was bad. So I did have an energy drink to kind of get me through and to see me through. Well, I tried to go to sleep early yesterday. My daughter woke up in the middle of the night, so, you know, had to wake up. So didn't get a full night's rest, didn't get a good night's rest, which had a lot to do with why my energy was low and why I'm tired right now. but like I had a headache and I was just not doing, like I just was cranky. I was cranky as crap because I had a headache. So partway through the day, early afternoon, I think, I had a little cookie. Um, it was a homemade cookie. It was a sugar cookie that I had made, but obviously it's still a cookie. So did have some sugar. And then I had a little bit of ice cream after my dinner. And my headache has now gone away. The fact that that is my reaction and my body's reaction alarms me. It shows me where my flaws are in my eating, which I already knew. I didn't, because it was only 3 days, I guess I just didn't think that was going to happen. So I'm actually very surprised. It makes total sense. I don't, again, I'm going to guess that it was because of the sugar, because I really wasn't having sugar, and then it was kind of like a shock I kind of shocked my body, I think a little bit, because as the day went on, my headache got a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better, and now it's gone. Could have been the caffeine or the sugar, because I had both today. I don't know, but regardless, that alarmed me. The fact that that is my body's response and alarms me. So it definitely has opened my own eyes to my own eating habits and what my bad habits have become, because of a lot of stuff going on, including online school. My stress has been like off the charts lately, because like, first of all, online school is stupid, so especially for a 5-year-old, but that's not the point. I'm gonna stay focused. And so because my stress has been like off the charts, my eating habits have just been all over the place. And again, I'm not eating a lot of food, like I'm not gaining a obscene amount of weight. I'm staying within the same range. I just could feel like my body wasn't as healthy as it could be, and my energy levels weren't as good as they could be. Because I was really trying to not eat processed foods, sugar, carbs, and I was really trying to do that. It made me look at my food and what I really have in my house, and made me aware that sugar is in everything. Everything I eat has sugar or carbs. That shouldn't be the case. Unfortunately, it is the case in this day and age, but it doesn't have to be, and I need to be aware of that. And again, I'm not saying that sugar and carbs are bad and terrible. Totally eat them. Like, I will go back to eating them. Let's be very clear. But I'm definitely going to cut back. Doing something like this, even if you only do it for 3 days, just makes you aware. If you really feel like your body needs a reset, do it for 10 days. But again, it takes a lot of eating, and that's where I forget, because I don't eat enough, because I was eating crap. That is a lot of calories and fills you up, but it's not good for you. That makes sense. So I'll have like a handful of chips. Yes, it's only a handful of chips, but it doesn't, like, it makes you feel like crap, as opposed to a salad. You hopefully. So my point really is that if you feel like your body is just not working the way that you want it to, definitely do this and do this challenge. Even if you only do it for 3 days. I have done it for 10 days before, doing no sugar, no carbs. It's really hard, because you will be very hungry. Carbs usually fills you up, and so if you're really hungry, you can have a piece of bread, which isn't a lot of calories, but it will fill you up for longer, as opposed to a carrot. You know what I mean? So it does take a lot of food, but it just makes you aware. It makes you aware of what you're putting in your body. And I think in this day and age, as we enter 2022 with everything going on in the world, we really need to be aware of that. We need to be aware of what we are eating and what we are putting in our bodies. I am alarmed that this was my body's reaction. I definitely know that I need to cut back, but I need to do it slowly so that if I, decide to do another challenge of no sugar, for example, it's not as drastic to my body. Cut down slowly, much better. For your body, it's not as big a shock to the system. My problem is that I bake a lot. I love baking, and so obviously there's always baked stuff in my house and desserts in my house that I've made, but obviously sugar, desserts. So it's difficult for me for that reason. But I definitely want to make sure that I cut back on my sugar. This has made me aware that that is what I need, and that's what my body needs, is to really cut down on my sugar intake, as well as my processed foods. I really want to make sure I reduce that and that I'm taking in more healthy things. I knew that I needed to go back to eating more salads and eating more vegetables and eating more fruits, and I kind of lost track of that. And I want to get back to eating more fresh vegetables and fruit and like putting good things into my body in order to have better energy and have my body working better. I know it's what I need. So if you need this, if you feel like your body's not working, I suggest you do this even for a few days, because it really will make you very aware. It will make you very aware. So I'm going to end it for now. I will weigh myself in the morning to see if I did lose any weight. I'm sure if I lost any, it will be bloating and gas and that kind of thing, and water weight. Like, I'm not expecting it to be fat. It's only been 3 days. Like, I'm not, that's ridiculous. But it probably will be something. So I will come back in the morning after I weigh myself, see what the results are. Doing it in the morning, you should always weigh yourself in the morning. I weighed myself in the morning when I first started, so I want to make it even as possible. So I will be back in the morning to see final results. So this was my starting weight at 187.4. And then this is my ending weight at 182.8. All right, it was first thing in the morning, so I just woke up. But that was what I weighed this morning at 182.8, which is, it's surprising because I weighed myself at 187.8 when I started. So almost 5 pounds that I lost in 3 days, just from cutting things out, and I still cheated a little bit. So that's a lot. That surprises me. Now I'm aware that it's water weight and bloat, and I'm fully aware of that. Not saying that this is fat, but that's what it is. Thank you very much for watching. Like the video and subscribe if you are new. I'll see you in the next one.